His baby girl to death in March of 23. No baby bottles or bedding were found when police looked around the Holmes Avenue house where Iyari stayed with her parents. The child's mother has already been sentenced to 16 years in prison. In Evansville, Zachary Cox appeared to be smoking weed while driving and speeding, so a Vanderburgh County deputy tried pulling him over Tuesday. He sped off, and the deputy stopped the pursuit for safety reasons. No bother. Deputies had the license plate and found Cox just minutes later, pulled him over successfully this time, and arrested him. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
Yeah, Chris, southbound 69, a little bit slow, 96 to 82nd. And southbound 465 at Penn Pike, report that work crews are blocking the right lane. Northbound 465 slows from 71st up to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tornado watches have been issued for western Indiana. The line of strong to severe storms will be crossing the state from 4 p.m. through midnight. Damaging wind also a concern. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Thanks to the excellent work of the SpaceX team working with NASA, the astronauts are now safely home. And so congratulations to the SpaceX and NASA teams on excellent work. And a huge note of appreciation to President Trump for prioritizing and expediting their return.
Yeah, rock on, man. The astronauts are back home. That was Elon Musk talking about the rescue of the stranded astronauts. More on that in just a moment. But Hammer, yes, we are watching the weather very closely.
So we do have a tornado watch for portions of central Indiana, the western part of the WIBC listening area, western part of the state, kind of from Lafayette all the way down through the bottom half of the state. Just draw a line straight down. That's what we're keeping an eye on right now. And it looks like this afternoon, sometime between 4 through 6 o'clock, that's when we're going to start seeing some action here in Indianapolis. So we're going to have you covered all through the afternoon here at 93 WIBC.
I could have sworn I heard something about a mix of rain and snow tomorrow. Like I heard the word flurries possibly tomorrow.
Snow.
Really? Snow? Did I hear that correctly?
Snow and flurries.
For God's sake, man. Like 70 and sunny yesterday. And last week was even better.
You sound like my dad whenever I would do something stupid at home. For God's sake. But you're right. You're right. So, again, we are keeping our eye on the weather, and a little bit later on, we will try to have some of our pals from Wish TV 8 join us. I know Tara Hastings is scheduled to join us a little bit later on, so be very careful this afternoon on that drive. So let's go back to the astronauts. They splashed down in the Gulf of America.
They didn't crash into the ocean, as I put it yesterday.
They came hurtling through space and crashed into the ocean. They splashed down in the Gulf of America. This included NASA's Butch Wilmore, Sonny Williams, Nick Hague, and a Russian cosmonaut all on board. The parachutes deployed. They landed in the water. You could see dolphins like swimming around, playing in the waves after they landed. Take a listen.
Brace for splashdown.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
Okay.
280 days.
Now, I want you to close your eyes and do a little visual for me.
Wow.
I just ate a Crave case of White Castles. I just had a warm Budweiser.
Mm-hmm.
I've made my way into the bathroom, and this is what I yelled to Crystal Hammer. One more time, Allison.
Brace for splashdown.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
Splashdown. Here we are.
Big round of applause. The Hammer family outside of the bathroom.
7 months.
Disgusting.
7 months, Joe Biden left 2 American astronauts just stranded in space. But that's kind of his thing, right? For a guy who's best known for going, you know the thing, his thing is leaving people stranded. Whether it was people trying to come back from the botched, Afghan withdrawal, people were left over there, and now you had 2 astronauts that were just left in space.
American hostages in Hamas, in Gaza.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that hate Donald Trump, and as a result of that, hate Elon Musk, are trying to tell you, well, it really wasn't Elon Musk that rescued these people. This has been in the works for a long time. Joe Biden was aware of this. He just didn't have the time. It's a load of crap. Elon Musk went on with Sean Hannity last night. This is after the astronauts had safely landed, and he set the record straight about the Biden administration, NASA, SpaceX, and the rescue.
We definitely offered to return the astronauts earlier. There's no question about that. The astronauts were only supposed to be there for 8 days, and they've been there for almost 10 months. So obviously that doesn't make any sense. SpaceX could have brought the astronauts back after a few months at most. And we made that offer to the Biden administration. It was rejected for political reasons, and that's just a fact.
That's sickening. And that's, again, like you said, Biden leaving people stranded. That's his thing. The thing.
And I get it. There are people that wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is jump on Facebook, jump on Twitter, Instagram, whatever they're using. If they're liberal, they're probably on that weird blue sky thing. And they just rip Donald Trump paragraph after paragraph before they even go to the bathroom in the morning. But because of the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome that they have, now Donald Trump has been able to put these people up and say, okay, if you're against me, you are in favor of leaving the astronauts to basically just stay up there and die, or you could be team rescue. What's it going to be? I know you hate Elon Musk, but what about this guy that just rescued these people? And let me ask you this, Nige. Do you think there were some Democrats, maybe more than a few, maybe a lot, that deep down inside were hoping something bad was going to happen to that SpaceX rocket, bringing these astronauts back so they can finger wag and shame Elon Musk?
I think there's the most radical faction, the bloodthirsty, radical progressive base, the people that are on board with lighting Tesla dealerships on fire. Yes, I believe those people would have been just happy to see something go wrong with this mission to rescue the astronauts again, so they could wag their finger at Elon Musk and Donald Trump. No question about that whatsoever.
The kind of people that sit at Jimmy Kimmel's talk show while he kind of dog whistles and gets cute about violence against the Teslas, which are owned by Elon Musk, the kind of people that applaud that, we're rooting for something bad to happen here, I promise you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a clip from Jimmy Kimmel's program last night.
Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People have been vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so,
you see what he did there, right? He's
mocking it.
Mocking it. Please don't vandalize them. And he has this little look into the camera, and the crowd all stands up like the SEALs they are. Yeah, let's vandalize.
They all love it. They all love it. And it's domestic terrorism is what it is. The Tesla dealership set on fire in Vegas. And then the crowd, the crowd cheering because the stock is down only because of the mainstream media reporting of the vandalism. Go look at the stocks today. I'm just telling you, Tesla stock's back up. That's just a little bump, a little dive here in the past couple of days, but it's back up.
Elon Musk, in that same interview last night, also talked a little bit about why he's so vested in with Doge and saving this country money. Take a listen.
The government waste and fraud is so high that it's causing a $2 trillion annual deficit. The cost of our debt has gotten so high that just the interest payments on the debt exceed the entire military budget. And it was just growing out of control. So the country was going bankrupt. The reason I'm here is because I'm very worried about America going bankrupt due to the corruption and waste. And if we don't do something about it, the ship of America is going to sink. And we're all on that ship. You know, and this may be a message to, you know, people out there who have, you know, are wealthy, have a lot of means, or control companies. It's like, just remember, we're all in ship America here. Your company's not going to exist if, you know, if the ship of America sinks.
Tesla's not going to exist. I mean, he's got his own vested interest.
Right. He's a businessman.
Yeah, right.
This isn't coming to you from some radical Republican or the shadow president, as some of these numbnuts say on social media. It's a business guy going, hey, what we've been doing here is not working. Let me go in here, find where you can trim some fat, and maybe, just maybe, we'll chip away at this deficit. But for whatever reason, that makes him the boogeyman.
And it's not like these people are being called into Elon Musk's office and given their pink slips. These are recommendations that Doge is making to the Trump administration. He can't fire. He's not the one firing people.
Right. He wants to know what you're doing,
and
what your job is. Yeah. He can gather the data, but it's not like he's, kicking open the door like the Terminator, and he's got his sunglasses on and, threatening, your life. It's not how this is working. But, boy, there's so many people that are just anti-Elon Musk. But the way that this is going to play out in the midterms, unless the Republicans screw it up, which, let's be honest, there's a good chance of that happening, is that these people, the Democrats, are going to be viewed as the pro-Venezuelan gang members, the pro-government waste people. This is going to be interesting because normally at midterms, pro-Hamas, normally at midterms, the group that has their ass handed to them rallies, right? And they have a much better showing, and maybe they'll win the House. Maybe they win back the Senate or something. But right now, you look at the polling numbers, there's no leadership on the left.
One word comes to mind: toilet.
Toilet.
When you say polling numbers in terms of the Democratic Party, toilet.
Now, that's what I call splashdown. All right.
Heyo! Great callback.
It's also National Let's Laugh Day today, Nige. If you need a reason to drink, and these lunatics that are rooting for bad things to happen to Elon Musk and Teslas and his rockets aren't enough, it's National Let's Laugh Day. So I've got a series of high-profile laughs.
Okay.
I want you, Nige, to see how many of these you can name, okay? Here is number one.
It's just too awesome.
Tucker Carlson, there you go. 1 for 1. All right. Laugh number 2.
Skolnick.
Louis Skolnick, Revenge of the Nerds. All right. We are 2 for 2. We got 3 left.
I'm nervous.
Laugh number 3.
got it on the tip of my tongue.
I can give you a hint if you need.
I got it on the tip of my tongue. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Bathtub. The bathtub just fell through the floor.
Oh, Tom Hanks.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
That was, yes.
The Money Pit.
Yeah, the Money Pit with Shelley Long.
Everything had gone wrong, and that was the breaking point.
Sucks that I needed a hint for that, but that's an 80s classic.
Great laugh, though. Number 4.
Dr. Evil?
Yes, Dr. Evil. And last but certainly not least,
this is fun.
Number 5.
Let's make it stop. Kamala Harris.
That was not Dr. Evil, but I could see how you may have got that confused. Yes, Kamala Harris.
How Kamala Harris has just dropped off the map. Where is she? I saw her at a retail store the other day.
Working?
Yeah.
Matt Bear's back. He's got to look at the roads. Eastbound 465 slows Keystone Avenue 275th, and inbound 69 slow roll 96 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We've got a tornado watch in effect for the western part of the WIBC audience, keeping our eye on a system that will be making its way through this afternoon. More on that later on. It's 63 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark Dietel, the only indie real estate expert I would trust with the sale of my home and even finding me a new home. How about Crystal in Franklin was moving to Kentucky and needed to get out of here fast? She got Mark Dietel working on a marketing plan, and she was blown away. The plan worked, got full list price in the first weekend it was on the market. Just like that, Mark Dietel and his team got it done.
What separates Mark Dietel from the competition is the guarantee. There are a lot of real estate agents out there, but the guarantee is what separates Mark Dietel from all of those people. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You heard it. He will buy it. Pick the move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietel today. Ask about the guarantee. 317-755-4232. 755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Advanced solutions from Comcast Business help turn today's enterprises into engines of modern business. It's how retailers become logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying favorite shopping destinations.
Thank you for shopping.
And how nationwide restaurants become customer-focusing, touchscreen ordering,
second window, please,
rapidly customizing, quick-serving eateries. It's how we turn financial firms into market tracking, client servicing, cyber securing economic engines.
Loan approved. Congratulations.
And how hospitals become the patient scanning, data managing, welcome to the worlding, life-changing healthcare facilities that we all depend on. With leading networking and connectivity, advanced cybersecurity, and expert partnership, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
As an IT professional, you have the opportunity to guarantee your data security, participate in 100% landfill-free disposal, and have peace of mind with R2 V3 certifications. Technology Recyclers provides guaranteed complete data destruction, 100% landfill-free disposal, and the certification to back it up. Protect your data while saving the planet. Receive a free pickup of your e-waste from Technology Recyclers. Visit tech-recyclers.com. That's tech-recyclers.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Please, Todd Rokita, the Attorney General of Indiana, do us the high honor of kicking off some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Hammer?
Legal stuff.
The man was found guilty of stealing a golden toilet.
Oh.
I've got a golden toilet. I've got a golden toilet. A man was found guilty of stealing a golden toilet from a palace in London. His name's Michael Jones. Stole this thing from the childhood home of Winston Churchill. Here's the police talking about the crime.
A group of offenders broke into the palace and stole a high-value toilet made out of gold that was on display.
So not just some random toilet. I'm reading this thing was worth like $6 million. Winston Churchill used to take dumps in this toilet.
$6 million. So if movies have taught me anything, if you're pulling off a big heist like this, let's go back to Ocean's 11.
Sure.
Like the remake one, the original one had the Rat Pack, but the remake one that I grew up with had like Clooney and
Brad Pitt, Matt Damon.
It took an elite team of dudes who have different skills to pull off that big heist. They robbed the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So imagine being an elite criminal and you get the phone call from one of these two guys. Hey, there's a $6 million job out there. Meet at my house tonight. There's going to be a buffet. There's going to be drinks. I'm going to have a PowerPoint presentation. You get there, you're ready, and they tell you you're stealing a couple crappers. Are you in or are you out? We are stealing Winston Churchill's dumper.
Well, look, it's worth $6 million, but can you get $6 million out of it? That's the big question.
What's the secondary market for something Churchill has pooped in?
Right. A solid gold. Yeah, you're right. You don't know what you show up for. What's the character's name? Elliot Gould. Is that his character?
He's got a robe on.
Yeah, he's got a robe on. Get in the house. Tells Matt Damon to get in the GD house. And you find out you're stealing a toilet. Nah, I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're not getting $6 million for that toilet.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you are an elite level jewel thief. And if you're on the YouTube chat, chime in as well, or Twitter or Facebook, whatever. You've got the option. You can take a job over here that's going to steal about $50,000 to $75,000 in cash. Or you could go with these two dudes who want to steal $6 million toilets. Now, you don't know how much you're going to get in return, but the value is $6 million. As an elite thief, where do you want to go, Nige?
I think I'm going with like the 50 grand, probably just in cash. Because you're not guaranteed. You're gonna wait. You're gonna be waiting to like unless there's some dark evil, behind the scenes sort of billionaire criminal that buys this type of stuff just to have it. Like, man, I it sounds like something Epstein would have bought possibly and put it and
well, now I don't want it.
And then hanging above the golden toilet in his apartment is Bill Clinton in the Lewinsky dress.
That painting of Bill in the dress, I get it. See, now I don't want it because you put Epstein's name on it. But previously, I was all in because worst case scenario, I can't find a buyer for the golden toilet. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it in my house. I'm calling it Chair Force One. I've got an old gold toilet. I'm going to sit it in my bathroom, and I will sit on my throne. Which brings us to great moments in toilet history. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the number one seed in a bracket of toilet history is that moment in Lethal Weapon where Danny Glover is on the can and there may or may not be a bomb.
Guys like you don't die on toilets. 1, 2, 3!
That was such a great scene.
Great moment. Great moment in toilet history. Our news gathering partners at Wish TV. Two friends of the show, Phil Sanchez and Marcus Bailey, laughing at a toilet story.
Lightning hit the methane gas that was built up in the septic tank, causing a bomb-like effect. Or it says she's just grateful no one was on the toilet at the time. I knew Marcus was really going to like this story.
Because of toilet humor.
Toilet humor, right. Toilet exploding.
I mean,
look,
well done, Phil.
Not funny. That's serious stuff, right?
Yes,
that's
of
serious
course.
stuff.
Very dangerous. No one was injured, though.
But you're still crying from laughing.
Bomb-like effect, Marcus. Bomb-like.
Marcus is crying.
I love that.
Last but not least, great moments in toilet history. Oh, wow. For the second time in the program, we go back to the movie Austin Powers.
Who does number 2 work for? Who does number 2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
Great moments in toilet history.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and the Pacers battle Anthony Davis and the Mavericks.
Halliburton to the basket and dunks it.
Celebrate No Chase NA Payoff presented by Corona on Wednesday when the Pacers take on the Mavericks. Visit Pacers.com/celebrate for a special ticket offer starting at $25, which includes a game ticket, 20-ounce draft beer, must be 21, or soda, and a limited edition No Chase NA Payoff t-shirt. Corona reminds you to relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois, must be at least 21 to purchase.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's the wind again. Radar is still clear in Indiana, but not off to our west, and that's where the storms will be coming from. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
Minor damage to structures and houses, along with hazardous conditions for high-profile vehicles such as semi-trucks, especially driving in directions that the wind is hitting them from the side.
Matt Eckhoff, forecaster with the National Weather Service, warning you about windy conditions this afternoon and evening. A tornado watch is in effect just to our west through 9 tonight. WIBC will be watching, and we'll let you know the minute anything else develops. A new head basketball coach at IU. It's Darren DeVries, who comes from West Virginia. But it's his winning record at Drake that helped him land one of the country's top basketball jobs, says athletic director Scott Dolson.
I talk a lot about, and I just said this earlier, this job, hearing people's feedback, whether it's candidates, other people, how much this job is coveted. It's a top job in America, and our fans are a huge, huge part of that. And I just want to make sure that they know how excited I am about where we are today and how much they are a part of this process.
DeVries was introduced in a press conference today. If your backyard flock gets bird flu, you may be eligible for federal money, says the Indiana Board of Animal Health. But they are asking you to keep watching your birds for any signs because the strain of flu that's infecting waterfowl and cranes is spreading. Yesterday, it was a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Today, it was Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky describes his conversation with President Donald Trump as positive, frank, and very substantive. And after Russian leader Vladimir Putin demanded the West stop supporting Ukraine with arms and intelligence as the price of peace, Fox News understands the cessation of military aid to Ukraine was not discussed during the Zelensky-Trump call. The Ukrainians say they're ready to meet U.S. representatives in Saudi Arabia in the coming days. Meanwhile, Ukraine and Russia have each swapped 175 prisoners as part of a deal announced yesterday. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You love spring in Indy, but you hate to paint, so do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
What's up, Chris? Looking at southbound 65, 4-minute delay, 21st to Meridian Penn. North side, eastbound 465, slow roll, Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road, and eastbound 72 downtown, slow. West Street to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Strong to severe storms will be crossing the state from 4 p.m. up through midnight. A tornado watch has been issued for western Indiana until 10 p.m. Eastern. Low temperatures later on tonight in the 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
This beat is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here, and we've got our news director, John Herrick, in studio. And, John, I don't need news director, John. I need IU Radio Network, John, right now, okay?
Gotcha.
So put that hat on.
You got it.
Because you are a part of the IU Hoosier Radio Network, pregame shows, halftime, postgame, all that kind of stuff. Big news out of Bloomington yesterday, their search for a new head coach has ended. Tell me about the guy Indiana has brought in.
His name is Darian DeVries, and he has a pretty good winning percentage, over 70%. Won a lot at Drake. He won over 20 games several times. He came to West Virginia. Now, last year, you might have heard West Virginia was not very good. They only had 9 wins. In his 1 year at West Virginia, he took them to 19 wins. Arguably should have been in the NCAA tournament. They had some wins over some tournament teams, and they just missed out on being in the field. He's got a very good son named Tucker DeVries, who's a good basketball player, averaged about 18 points a game before he had an injury. So he's a basketball guy. He has a basketball family, and Scott Dolson, the athletic director at IU, very impressed with what he saw out of Mr. DeVries, so he hired him.
One of the things that I've seen on social media already is IU didn't make the tournament, so they hire a coach of a team that didn't make the tournament. But you mentioned his son, who probably is the best player on that team. He was out most of the year, right? Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's seeking a medical red shirt so he could play one more year, in theory, for his old man at Bloomington.
Exactly. So you could have 2 guys that could be seeking a red shirt or a hardship waiver coming back to Indiana next year in Tucker DeVries and Luke Goody. If Luke Goody can get that hardship waiver he's trying to get. So you could have you could have quite a few shooters on this team next year, depending on what happens in the transfer portal. So, yeah, I mean, West Virginia had struggled. He comes in, he helps Indiana, he helps West Virginia win right away. He has a winning pedigree. And he is very well connected to the Midwest. I think that's what really drew him to Indiana University and the administration, is the fact that he knows the Midwest. He has a lot of reverence and respect for this job. So I think there's a lot of things that are very appealing about this guy being the next men's basketball coach.
And you mentioned this earlier. I think this is really important. Inherits this team that had won 9 games, takes them to 19 wins without their best player most of the year, and most people agree they should have been in the tournament this year. Like, I don't know how many teams in the country could say they are going to be in the tournament if they miss their best player most of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, this guy is he's only 49 years old, and he was a 2-time Missouri Valley Coach of the Year at Drake. So Indiana, I think, was looking at a guy who was pretty young, but was looking to take that next step in his career. I don't think they were going to get a guy like Rick Pitino or Brad Stevens or someone who was super established. I think Indiana was going to try to find the next guy who was going to be ready to take that next step in his coaching career, and Darian DeVries is definitely that guy. So I think his pedigree is really exciting. I think he's got sort of if you're an IU fan and you follow football, he reminds me a lot of Curt Cignetti in the sense that he looks gruff. He's battle-tested. He hits the recruiting trail pretty hard. So I think it'll be very interesting to see his strategy, what he does in the portal, and how he goes and gets guys in future recruiting classes and tries to bring them to Indiana.
We're speaking with John Herrick, not only our news director here, but part of the IU radio network, about the new head basketball coach down in Bloomington, Darian DeVries. What type of game does he play? Like, what style are we going to see in Bloomington?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems that West Virginia had before he got there was they were not a very good scoring team, and he turned them into a much more prolific scoring team. You're going to see an emphasis on the three-point shot. The reason he was able to beat a lot of pretty good teams and get to 19 wins and be on the cusp of that is because they scored more. And I think that's going to be a way you're going to see him grind out possessions, but you're also going to see a team that can push the pace, get up the floor, and find a way to score more often. I think if when he takes over, one of the biggest problems that we saw with Indiana over the last 2 years, too many scoring droughts, right? Especially in that game against Oregon where they didn't win in the Big Ten tournament and they came up short. I think you're going to see fewer scoring droughts under Coach Darian DeVries here.
So one of the things that has been talked about online, and I said it the other day, like on behalf of IU fans, I think a lot of people would agree, this past IU team, last couple of years, they've came off unlikable, flaunting their money at students on campus. You've got Mike Woodson. There was the Dane Fife controversy. You know, what happened with Thad Matta behind closed doors. For whatever reason, they just came off as unlikable and the student body didn't really connect with this team.
Right.
And you saw that in terms of attendance. You don't have to take my word for it. Look at the attendance, and it's not because people in Indiana don't like basketball. And I know he talked about this at his press conference earlier today, but how important is it for this new coach to change the culture?
Yeah, I to your point, Hammer, I've never felt more tense or more uneasy at Assembly Hall than that game in January when Indiana played Illinois. That was so uncomfortable. Fans are screaming Fire Woodson. The students are angry. And I just think this guy is much more of a he's just such a grinder. That's one of the things that's when you listen to all these other guys that cover college basketball like John Fanta or Jeff Goodman or Pete Thamel or whatever, they always and Coach Craig McDermott at Creighton said this about Darian DeVries because he knows him real well. This guy is a grinder. This guy will put in the work. He studies film. He hits the recruiting trail hard, and I just think he's going to find a lot of guys that are like him that really are like gym rats. They love to be in the gym. They're in there a long time. Now,
and those are guys you win with.
Right. Those are the guys you win with.
Like, I don't know if you win a national title, but look at Purdue. And I know this pains IU fans, right? But Purdue, yes, they get their star, they get their stud, but they have gym rat Indiana kids that know their role.
Exactly. And I think that's the kind of guy that Darian DeVries appeals to. Again, we don't know what kind of team he'll put together yet, but part of the reason I think this hire was made very quickly is because you're going to have guys hitting the transfer portal, which means Coach DeVries has to hit the transfer portal, and he's got to go find guys right away that he's going to bring into this program that are going to resemble what he's like. Indiana also needed a guy who understands the ever-changing landscape of college basketball. You hear a lot of these old coaches talk about how frustrated they are with it. That's why I think it's important for Indiana to hire a guy like DeVries who is adept at it. He knows what it's like. He knows he's going to have to take advantage of it, and he's going to be somebody who will do that based on what he has said and how he's behaved to this point, because he really understands how it's changing and how he needs to take advantage of it.
Where can we get more coverage?
WIBC.com with the latest. We'll obviously have all the updated information and newscasts at the top of our webpage at WIBC.com, both on air and online there.
John Herrick, my man, thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you, Hammer.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct's Tax Time Sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right, no interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there's more. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home upgrade, this bonus savings makes now the perfect time to act. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today for your free in-home estimate. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and 1 unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus 1 unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus 1 unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard, with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Kick off spring at their open house. Play Pansy Roulette where you can win 10 to 100% off select items.
Yo, Matt Baer, what's up?
Eastbound 465 slows Keystone Avenue to I-69. Inbound 65, 6-minute delay 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. And a 5-minute delay on eastbound 70 from Harding into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We are keeping our eye on the radar, on the weather. Could have some severe storms making their way through in the next couple of hours. Marcus Bailey, meteorologist for Wish TV, will join us at 4:06. And then Tara Hastings of Wish TV will join us at 5:06, just to get us through this little afternoon drive. Right now, though, we got gray skies, wind starting to pick up. It's 64 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Nigel, it's National Backyard Day. National Backyard Day today.
Mean?
So it's a day you celebrate the best yard, the backyard. Everybody wants to make their front yard look good, but as a kid, man, growing up, the fun was had in the backyard.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
National Backyard Day.
I got you.
So
yeah,
Reddit put out a list of the best backyard games to play. Okay? Backyard games, according to Reddit. Coming in at number 1, cornhole.
Yeah, easily. That's got to be the most popular backyard game. Front yard, whatever. Outdoor game.
Tailgate game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Beer drinking game.
Absolutely. If you can play better the more beers you've had, it's my kind of game. Bowling, darts, pool.
Cornhole, again, they show the championships on ESPN.
Right. It's a big deal. So cornhole, number 1. Bocce comes in at number 2.
Love bocce. I usually play it with the kids on the beach down in Florida.
Explain what bocce is.
It's like you roll a ball out there, and then you roll another kind of heavy ball, and you try to knock the other player's ball and get as close to the little white ball as possible.
Okay.
Was that the worst description of bocce ever?
Take a drink every time Nigel said ball.
You throw a little white ball out there, and you try to get as close to the white ball as possible. That's how I know it.
Coming at number 3, this is what my cousins and I did growing up, wiffle ball.
Oh, if you have enough people, sure.
We used to get the cousins together, man,
Yeah.
and we'd have a wiffle ball game. There's nothing better to see that little white ball go sailing over the fence. Then you had to have somebody climb the fence and go get it. Two-hand touch football.
Sure.
Also, flag football would be accepted. Did you guys ever just play tackle football with your buddies?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that too. Like, I don't know if kids do that really anymore in this concussion era. But back in the day, man, there was no touch. There was no flag. You got your buddies together, and it was prison rules.
Oh, yeah.
Kickball coming in at number 5. Now, Holy Name School on the south side of Indy, that's a school sport. Like the elementary school and down. Yeah, they have an official kickball team.
Now, and some of these, like flag football and stuff, are like, the people in their mid-20s and stuff on Sundays. There's leagues. There's kickball leagues and flag football leagues. It's obvious. Actually, I think all these stuff have leagues.
Horseshoes comes in at number 6.
Classic. That's a classic. It's
more of a out there in the rural area, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe southern areas. Barnside, horseshoes. Badminton came in at number 7.
That's old school, but still, who hasn't played badminton before?
Ladder toss at number 8.
What?
Ladder toss. There's a company called Ladder Golf LLC that's selling sets of it right now.
No idea what that is.
Here's a throwback to anybody that's a Gen X kid that survived this growing up. Number 9, lawn darts.
Yes.
You took a sharp-ass, metal, rusted dart, and you threw it up in the air, and you just had to look out, and then it would land.
I think you put like a hula hoop-shaped giant circle somewhere in the yard, and then you would launch the jart in the air with your hand and try to make it as close to the circle as possible.
The circle was the target.
Yes.
Right. And kind of like cornhole, you'd get points for how many you would land, but, boy, there's nothing like getting a bunch of kids together and a sharp, metal, rusted object come barreling out of the sky. And coming in at number 10, croquet.
Hey, man, I remember being a little kid going to my grandparents' house. They had a rickety croquet set. I loved it. I would hit the crap out of that ball.
Go like full Happy Gilmore
Yeah,
on
exactly. Like it was golf or a baseball. And they're like, no, Nigel, that's not the point of this game.
I was like that in tennis. Like, I know you're supposed to just volley back and forth. Nope. I'm going full Bo Jackson, full Hank Aaron.
Launch that right over the fence. Right into the parking lot.
Every time. All right. We're starting to get some cloud cover, some dark skies here in Indy. Marcus Bailey, meteorologist for Wish TV. We're going to get him on the horn next. We're going to find out the timeline, and we got you covered all afternoon here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You got a slab of ugly concrete that's cracked and dirty and uneven and maintained, and you want to fix it? Call Galaxy Concrete Coatings. That's what I did for my garage. They also just got done doing the concrete floor of my utility room down in my basement. It looks awesome. They don't use epoxy. They use something called polyurea that is the new premium standard for coatings like this. So garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor, outdoor area concrete, it's galaxyconcretecoatings.com. Or call them 751-9070.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-268-4420. 800-268-4420. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-268-4420.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swingco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swingco 317-407-1868 or swingcollc.com.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
City water or well water, get better water with C&J. You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems and great people too. Just call them 317-733-SOFT.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
The tug of war over the president's agenda. Lisa Brady, Fox News, says the Trump administration keeps up criticism of federal judges ruling against executive orders.
While insisting the administration will comply with all court orders, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt continued her broadsides on federal judges issuing injunctions against immigration actions and spending freezes.
This is a clear, concerted effort by leftists who don't like this president and are trying to impose or slow down his agenda.
President Trump has called for the impeachment of District Court Judge Jeb Boasberg after a ruling preventing some deportation flights. In a response, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts issued a statement saying impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Judge Boasberg defends his orders. For more information about last weekend's deportation flights to El Salvador, also writing today that whether his temporary restraining orders were legally defective or sound doesn't govern his continued review of whether the government complied. The effort to deport a former Columbia University grad student in a campus protest-related case will now be heard in New Jersey, a federal judge ruling it belongs there because that's where Mahmoud Khalil was detained when a lawsuit was filed. The Fed leaves interest rates alone for the second meeting in a row, waiting for greater clarity on where the economy is heading, though acknowledging recent surveys showing increased concern among consumers and businesses.
There have been plenty of times where people are saying very downbeat things about the economy and then going out and buying a new car. But we don't know that will be the case here. We will be watching very carefully for signs of weakness in the real data. Of course we will.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell, the Fed now expects the economy to grow more slowly this year and next year compared to its projection from 3 months ago. But Wall Street rallies. The Dow up 383 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
It's tax season.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The meaning of success. Rain and storms moving into northwest Indiana. More rain is expected here in the Indianapolis metro, including some possible strong to severe storms. Western counties are under a tornado watch through 9 p.m. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
We will know we have made it when every time a fan, a booster, an alumni, or a former player comes to watch us play and turns on the TV. And after that game is over, that they are filled with pride.
Darren DeVries, the new head basketball coach for IU, introduced at a press conference this morning.
Because they have so much respect for how our team plays, how unselfish they are, the joy they play with, and the enthusiasm they play with, and their love for this university.
He comes here directly from West Virginia, but check out his record at Drake. That's part of why he was picked for the job. Now, what's up with the tornado threat here and the possible cold weather? Ryan Hedrick.
Western Indiana is more likely to see a tornado, says Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service.
For central Indiana, it doesn't really look like the primary threat's going to be extending that far east. I do think that the primary tornado threat is going to be near the Indiana-Illinois state line and points farther north and west.
Eckhoff says once severe weather moves out, colder temperatures and rain with a wintry mix possible. Move in. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Not that it has any bearing on the weather today, but today is the 100th anniversary of the tri-state tornado, which affected 3 states. The giant twister dissipated in southern Indiana. In January, Tiara Crute was sentenced to 16 years for the death of her 4-month-old girl, Iyari, on Holmes Avenue in March of 23. Tuesday, the baby's father, Darren Washington, was found guilty of neglect in her death for having no food for her and no place for the baby to sleep. Sometimes the cops do get the bad guys, so a pat on the back to IMPD for this bust of 7 people.
We were able to take into custody 7 adult males for their roles in multiple felonies, including possession and dealing of controlled narcotics, possession of firearms by serious violent felons.
Simone Burris with IMPD. Those raids were Tuesday morning across Indy. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
If you love spring in Indy but hate the paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came and we discussed what we wanted done. This time, we had the roof done as well.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have that. They don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
Eastbound 75-minute delay from Belmont to the South Split. Inbound 69 stop and go 96th Street to 465. Southbound 65 slows 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. Thanks for the tip on this. Looking at eastbound Rockville Road, Hendricks County, and that's jammed up from Ronald Reagan to Bridgeport Road because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Marcus Bailey is a meteorologist for Wish TV. He's an institution there. He's been there for 10 years. And Marcus, not even an hour ago, I looked out the window. It was kind of sunny. Yeah. It was fairly warm outside. I just looked out on Monument Circle now. It's cloudy, and it's a weird color out right now.
Yeah, there's you got like kind of these
pre-showers that are kind of moving through western Indiana right now. So kind of ahead of a really potent cold front in an area of low pressure. I mean, it's wound up. We feel the winds right now. It has been windy all day long. It's getting pretty nasty right now out in Illinois. It's still a ways away in terms of any nasty storms for us. But just to kind of put it in perspective, like Peoria, Illinois right now is under a tornado warning. That's where some of the storms are at, just north of Springfield, so kind of central Illinois. But that's the line that we're going to be watching here for the potential for severe weather here coming up this evening.
So what is the timeline that we could start seeing some dicey conditions here?
So I'm going to say it's a pretty broad window. I think we could maybe get some of these storms that are starting to blossom east of St. Louis, so southern Illinois, in western Indiana as early as maybe the top of the next hour, around 5 o'clock. I think it's going to be probably closer to the Indy Metro, somewhere between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight. We think that this line is probably going to get its act together and become one big, long line. It's all kind of just isolated cells right now in Illinois, but once it gets closer to the state line, it becomes a big, long line. And probably in that 7 to 9 time frame, it moves through the metro. And I think it's probably out of the state and into western Ohio, probably around midnight.
Okay, so between 7 and 9, central Indy can expect some inclement weather, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm. That's the time frame that I see right now. Give or take maybe a little bit of time, but I mean, I think everything's kind of on pace right now, and it's close enough that we feel pretty good about that timeline. I will say now there's a tornado watch out for western counties, so this would be just west of the metro area. So like our western counties like Boone, Hendricks, Morgan, not technically or not officially in the tornado watch. But I wouldn't be shocked as the storms maybe approach the state line that watch may get extended. Now, that could end up being a severe thunderstorm watch. It could be an extension of the tornado watch. We'll have to wait and see, but that likely happens probably in the next hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, as that line gets a little bit closer to the state line.
And, Marcus, what kind of conditions are we expected to see? Is this going to be a rain event? Is this going to be wind? Could we see tornado activity here?
So good question. I think, that because you have that tornado watch in western Indiana, there is some good spin in the atmosphere, but it's mainly confined into central and eastern Illinois, and I think that's where you're really going to get, you're going to get the show for tornadic activity. I do think that some of that could linger on into the watch area in western Indiana. I really think, and we've been saying this probably for the last couple of days, we've been keeping an eye on this. When you get into central and eastern Indiana, I believe this still remains more of a damaging wind threat for most of the state, for central Indiana, for eastern Indiana. Could there be an embedded spin up? Yes. But I, as of what I'm seeing right now, I think the bullseye for tornadoes is what you're seeing right now. It's in central Illinois. It's probably going to be in eastern Illinois. It may sneak over into western Indiana. I don't know if the dynamics are going to hold up enough to keep tornadoes really blossoming once they get into central Indiana. So this is going to be more of a damaging wind in excess of 60 mile per hour straight line wind type of issue as we go throughout the that window when the storms arrive in the metro area.
All right, Marcus, last thing before we let you go. I told Nigel this the other day, and I think we've talked about this before, but I can't remember. Were you on the infamous newscast at Ball State where the viral video of the sportscaster butchering it pretty badly but gave us that boom goes the dynamite clip?
Right.
Were you part of that newscast?
I wasn't part of that newscast, but that was my senior year of college. So I was doing weather, but I wasn't there. I knew the kid. He was, I think, a freshman when I was a senior at Ball State. But there was a lot of people that graduated. They ended up working in indie media. I think a lot of them probably out of TV now, but there was a lot of us that were there. I know the guys that initially did it. They got a good scolding by the department heads when that thing went viral. But I mean, it still stands the test of time. When I say I go to Ball State, there's people that are just out of college like, Oh, yeah, the boom goes to dynamite store. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, if I remember this correctly, that kid got a job after he left Ball State. He ended up working in media.
He worked in several. I think he went down to Texas. I think he was in Cincinnati for a while. He did sports. He did. I think he tried his hand in weather for a little bit. He did news. And then I think he also had a segment on Tosh.0, one of those like redemption segments or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he got to like redo it and all that other stuff. So, yeah.
All right, Marcus Bailey, Wish TV. Marcus, thank you so much, and we'll be following Wish TV for the latest.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
You got it. Nigel, if you don't mind, can I read a list of people who have screwed us?
Oh, is it that time of day again?
I believe it's that time of day.
Okay, please.
These are people who have screwed you on property taxes. Travis Holdman, Scott Baldwin, Brian Buchanan, Chris Garton, Mike Gaskell, Tyler Johnson, Ryan Mishler, Rick Niemeyer, Linda Rogers, Kyle Walker, all part of the Senate, the Indiana Senate Tax Committee, who was given...
You're missing some names on there.
Oh, this is just a few.
Okay, these
just
are the initial...
few, yes.
Okay.
The list is long and distinguished, Nige, but these were the people who first screwed you. And by the way, again, we talked about it earlier, but thanks to everybody that came out to the property tax rally. Now, I know the pro temp Senate leader was there, Rod Bray, Abdul's euchre buddy. Those guys, I think, wear a pair of funderwear together. But he was there. We would have loved to have had him come by and just say, hey, we're working on it. Give us some time. Your, anger is well-deserved. Give us some time. We're going to try to fix this.
Nothing?
Nothing. He was upset that we were there. Little Birdie, the same little birdies that I think Rob has from time to time, told me he was ticked off that some of the lawmakers were wearing green that day. What a butt sniffer that guy is. Just an absolute weasel. And I know he's not up for election for a couple of years. He just won last year. But the reason we bring up his name is so you don't forget, right? We're very petty. We're very vindictive people.
I'm sure.
And he works for you. He works for you. So don't let these, quote, Republicans, air quote, get off the hook with this crap. Earlier today, Nige, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
We're big fans of hers.
I enjoy her work. I enjoy everything she brings to the table. She was ripping on this activist judge that was attempting to block President Trump from kicking out the terrorists and gang members from Venezuela.
And I would just like to point out that the judge in this case is essentially trying to say that the president doesn't have the executive authority to deport foreign terrorists from our American soil. That is an egregious abuse of the bench. This judge does not have that authority. It is the opinion of this White House and of this administration, and that's why we're fighting this in court. And it's very, very clear that this is an activist judge who is trying to usurp the president's authority. Under the Alien Enemies Act, the president has this power, and that's why this deportation campaign has continued. And this judge, Judge Boasberg, is a Democrat activist. He was appointed by Barack Obama. His wife has donated more than $10,000 to Democrats, and he has consistently shown his disdain for this president and his policies, and it's unacceptable.
You bring that plane load of criminal, violent gang rapists back right now. I want those rapists back on United States soil ASAP. I'm a judge. I have spoken. Somebody hand me my gavel. I'm going to shove it up my... Oh, excuse me.
Ooh, boy, that escalated quickly.
Sure did.
Here's a little bit more from Caroline Leavitt. Donald Trump today had a phone call with Zelensky. Yesterday, he spoke with Pootie. Today, he spoke with Zelensky.
Today, President Trump and Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky had a fantastic phone conversation. President Zelensky thanked President Trump for a productive start for the work of the Ukrainian and American teams in Jeddah on March 11th. The meeting of the senior officials from both nations significantly helped in moving toward ending the war. President Zelensky thanked President Trump for the support of the United States, especially the Javelin missiles that President Trump was first to provide in his efforts towards peace. The leaders agreed Ukraine and America will continue working together to bring about a real end to the war, and that lasting peace under President Trump's leadership can be achieved. President Trump fully briefed President Zelensky on his conversation with Putin and the key issues discussed. They reviewed the situation in Kursk and agreed to share information closely between their defense staffs as the battlefield situation evolved. They agreed all parties must continue the effort to make a ceasefire work.
Okay. That sounds like a productive call. Trump was even positive when he went to Truth Social talking about the call, which last time he talked about Zelensky publicly, it was not a positive message.
Is that in person in the Oval Office?
It was the depancing in the Oval Office, yes. So this is progress, right? If you want the war to end, I feel like this is progress. Now, here to weigh in with what exactly they talked about today on that call, joining us on the hotline, AI Donald Trump.
Yo, Hammer and Nigel, thanks for taking my call. By the way, tell Allison I'd like to invite her to the White House. I'd like to show her the room that Bill Clinton did stuff to Monica. Maybe you guys can work that out for me. I figured if Allison has fantasies about Nigel, then hell, I have to have a shot too.
Right.
Anyway, I had a great call with Zelensky today. We talked a little bit about what a peace deal would look like. Zelensky is willing to end the war only if I tell the staff at Kings Island he's tall enough to ride the beast.
It's AI Donald Trump.
It looks like the war is still on. That ain't going to happen.
Matt Baer, what's up?
Southside crash. Eastbound 465 at US 31 left lane block. Traffic is backed up to Bluff Road. Looking at eastbound Rockville Road, that stopped because of construction in Hendricks County. This is from Ronald Reagan Parkway to Bridgeport. I'm told that we are down to one lane. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We need 34 awesome people to give us a thumbs up on that YouTube stream. We've got cameras in studio. There's a live chat right there. You can listen. You can engage with us. But man, help us out a little bit. We got to get to 100 likes, or Nick in the digital department slashes our tires. So help a couple brothers out.
For real.
Give us a thumbs up. Help us get to 100 on that YouTube chat from WIBC. We're keeping our eye on the weather. It's getting dark. It's getting windy. It's getting colder. 63 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and the Pacers battle Anthony Davis and the Mavericks.
Halliburton to the basket and dunks it.
Celebrate No Chase NA Bay-Up, presented by Corona on Wednesday when the Pacers take on the Mavericks. Visit Pacers.com/celebrate for a special ticket offer starting at $25, which includes a game ticket, 20-ounce draft beer, must be 21, or soda, and a limited edition No Chase NA Bay-Up t-shirt. Corona reminds you to relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois, must be at least 21 to purchase.
That's are us, when dreams don't get in. That's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us, when dreams don't get in. That's are us.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls?
I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $15,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Do it.
Big Nige, is this anything? A Maryland man now in some hot water because he punched a United Airlines gate agent right in the face.
Saw that.
Here are some other passengers reacting to Christopher Stewart Crittenden's actions that led to his arrest.
Unacceptable. No reason for anyone to ever punch anyone, period. I don't care.
Yeah, he's on the no-fly list.
Oh, my gosh. That's unacceptable. That is really unacceptable.
He needs to go to jail.
Yep, I'm watching it right now. Walked right up to the gate agent, punched him. I have audio here if you want. And let me describe this guy. It looks like the kind of guy, some guy that's in his mid-50s, really fat beer belly, gut hanging over his pants, thinks he's a tough guy. He's probably hammered. He's not happy with something. And here's the audio. You'll hear him say, I'm done with this BS, and then something like, who wants it first? And then the gate agent steps in front of him, and that's when he knocks him out. Who wants to take it first? And then you hear people start yelling.
Right.
It got cut off, right? I mean, but he just jacks him right in the chin. Now, of course, the cops came. They subdued this guy. He's sitting on the floor in handcuffs, wailing like a little child, a petulant little fat baby. Drunk baby. Here is the aftermath of the punch, and then you'll hear the police officer say, please get out of the way, we're taking him away, and everybody starts clapping.
United sucks! I will never fly this trash airline again.
We're happy.
Excuse us, we're gonna come through. Y'all can just move out of the way, please.
Yay!
Sounds like the moment the beer-bellied, red-shirted teacher got escorted out of the property tax rally the other day. Sounded just like that.
I mean, but did you hear him? United sucks! I'm never flying on this airline again. Girl, I got news for you. You're going to be riding a Greyhound bus for the rest of your life. You should be on a permanent no-fly list.
Everybody is excited that you won't be flying United
Can you
again.
believe he had the nerve to say that, sitting there cuffed, hands behind his back? United sucks. I'm never flying this airline again.
Good.
No, you're not.
You're not flying anywhere.
Any airline.
Spirit,
ever again.
Allegiant, you're not flying that little plane that they had in Major League when they cut back the costs, where they're duct taping the propeller. You're not flying anything anymore. No fly list. Is this anything? A 3-year-old in Colorado saved his great-grandma after she fell last month and hit her head.
Oh, this is amazing.
It happened next to some steps outside the house, and her phone was in the car. So she told him to be brave and go get it for her. Here is Sharon talking about her great-grandson, Bridger.
We were walking up the sidewalk, and it was dark because the porch light wasn't on, and I tripped over something and fell. And then we started hollering for the neighbor, but that didn't work. I said, so, Bridger, you're going to have to be a big boy and go out to the car and get Gigi's phone. And he said, it's really dark, Gigi. I said, it'll be okay. Jesus will help you. Don't be afraid.
I went out in the right there, and I was too scared.
I call him my hero, and he says, no, Gigi, I'm Bridger.
Oh, yeah, that's something. Oh, the heartstrings, the tingles, the hair on the back of your neck. Isn't that so sweet? 3 years old? Like, I'm trying to remember if my kids had the capacity, even if I would have fallen down, hey, Connor, go get Daddy the phone in the car. He would have just gone back inside and in the basement and started playing with his toys.
Looking for the candy.
Right. And so this kid in the dark, Bridger, in the dark, goes and finds his great-grandma's phone to call 911. You're a true hero. No, I'm not a hero. I'm Bridger. That's what she said. That's hilarious.
Go back to Connor. He's got some March Madness of his own tonight,
right? Go Converse. Team Converse tonight in the semifinals. Some basketball there. Yeah, oh yeah. We play if we win the first game, we play in the championship game. So go. So
Team
it's like
Converse. The old state tournament in Indiana where you'd play the morning session at Hinkle.
That's right.
And if you won, you came back and played in the nighttime.
That's right, baby. Right after the show, headed straight there to watch.
All right. Tell Connor again. The offer's on the table.
Oh, yeah,
I will present NIL money if he gets a rebound and a putback basket.
Okay.
Box out, throw some elbows, get those Dennis Rodman rebounds. Back up and score. I got a $10 NIL payment.
Can he bounce it first, or is it just?
He can bounce it fine, but it's got to be off a rebound and then back into the basket.
Okay.
So if he pulls the rebound down and he needs to create some space, I'll allow him to dribble.
Had a couple of buckets last night. Had a couple of important buckets, and tonight semifinals. If they make it past that to the championship game.
I've always said paying young kids to throw elbows is what makes sports great. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Window Nation came out to my house within a day, had a house full of windows installed, left my place cleaner than before the install. 100% satisfaction rating on my part, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. They were recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies.
Window Nation's got a dealio for you. 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. And there's no limit. The more you buy, the more free ones you get. And you don't pay anything. No interest, no payments until 2027. 2 years of no payments. So if you're looking to get the house fixed up a little bit this year, now is the time to call. 866-90-NATION. Window Nation will give you a fast, free estimate, and they can lock this deal in for you. But all you have to do is call. 866-90-NATION, windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It happened more than 60 years ago, but people want to know. Tornado watch just to our west until 9 p.m. The rough stuff is still mostly in Illinois and northwest Indiana. Strong winds, though, a possibility here along with storms. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. President Trump's administration has released files relating to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt claims the president is trying to rebuild the trust of the American people.
This historic release consisted of approximately 80,000 pages of previously classified records that are now published.
Both Democrats and Republicans approving of the release. Tennessee Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen calls the documents a good sign toward progress. Kentucky Republican Congressman James Comer says the president has the most transparent administration in history.
Many of them are Democrats, by the way. Democrats were big supporters of Tesla and of electric vehicles until Elon Musk decided to vote for Donald Trump.
And that's Leavitt on the attacks on Teslas and dealerships.
We certainly think it's despicable, the violence that has taken place against Tesla, the company, its employees, and also just Americans who have chosen to drive an electric vehicle.
About interest rates, an announcement from the Fed. Hillary Barsky.
The central bank is holding its benchmark interest rate steady, Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
The committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%.
The committee also projecting 2 rate cuts at some point this year as inflation moderates but remains above its target and the job market remains relatively healthy. Fed officials now see inflation staying higher this year than previously estimated and economic growth going lower than previous predictions. The Fed is forecasting that it will reach its inflation target of 2% in 2027. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
And once we get there where everyone can watch us on a nightly basis, and then they can say with great pride on a consistent level that is my team, that is when the banners will rise again.
That's Darren DeVries, new head basketball coach for IU, introduced this morning. He comes from West Virginia, where he coached the Mountaineers for 1 year.
At West Virginia, they took a 9-win team and took that to a 19-win team despite losing 2 key players to injury early in the season was super impressive.
IU athletic director Scott Dolson. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection, and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered. Busted brackets not included. For over 2,000 vehicles, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, south side crash eastbound 465 at US 31, blocking the left shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic back to I-69, an 8-minute delay. Hendricks County eastbound Rockville Road jammed. Rockville from Ronald Reagan Parkway to Bridgeport Road, and that's because of construction down to 1 lane. Eastbound 70, 8-minute delay from Belmont to the south split. Southbound 65, 10-minute delay from the bridge, White River to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Strong to severe storms will be crossing the state from 4 p.m. up through midnight. A tornado watch has been issued for western Indiana until 10 p.m. Eastern. Low temperatures later on tonight in the 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Tis the season for the madness. You've got the NCAA tournament, which really gets going tomorrow. I know play-in games are happening now, but the real full day of games begins tomorrow. But we've also got Hammer and Nigel Records madness. Nige, if somebody's just tuning in, explain what we're doing here.
Real easy. 16 of the greatest hits from Hammer and Nigel Records competing against each other. Hammer and Nigel Records are fictional kind of parody record company.
Correct. So over the last 7+ years, we've made a lot of dumb little songs.
We have, and then we've had submissions too. People send us stuff just all over the place, all over the gamut.
So yesterday we had the matchup between the 8 and 9 seed. This was a good one.
Perfect example.
We had Jen Psaki's Circle Back album, and we had something that our pal Jeff Boggs created after Nigel's drunken trip home from our bowling event called Nigel Tradition. The winner, after yesterday's big clash, was...
Too much and start slurring and such. It's just a Nigel tradition.
I haven't had this much to drink in a long time.
Nigel Tradition moves on to the round of 8.
Do you remember if it was a decisive victory?
It was a decisive victory.
Was it really?
It was a blowout.
I made the final 8. See, come on, guys. I don't want that moving any further along. I knew I was in trouble because people actually started to respond to it after. On social media, people were like, yep, Nigel, you're moving on to the next round.
Nigel, that's a scrappy 8 seed that could win this thing.
I don't think it's going to win, but I hope it does not win. It's sort of embarrassing, but it's really funny. Boggs, just did a killer job with that.
So if you want to see the bracket, the updated bracket with who's won so far, go to WIBC.com, click on the Hammer and Nigel page. Nick from our digital department has been updating this in real time. So he's got a list of the songs that have advanced. Now, as for today's matchup.
Okay, I'm ready.
We've got the number 13 seed. This is an album that we put together to highlight and showcase Joe Biden's folksy racism that he likes to throw out from time to time. We call it the Biden Duets album.
Hammer and Nigel Records are happy to team up with President Biden.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
With this all-new album, Joe Biden, The Duets. Hear Joe Biden rock out your favorite songs with some of your favorite artists, like this.
Black.
And this.
Black.
Uh-huh.
Black.
See what we're doing?
Black. Black.
Song after song of your favorite artist mixed in with Joe Biden's folksy racism. Joe Biden's Duets album. Operators are standing by at Hammer and Nigel Records.
You ain't black.
A strong 13 seed.
The Biden Duets album, seed number 13.
Oh, man.
Taking on a song that we came up with. Again, we had a lot of spare time in the COVID year.
Sure.
Things were locked down, so we decided to really put pen to paper. And when Governor Kemp of Georgia decided, you know what, we were locked down, but we're going to be one of the first to open up.
That's right.
And when we open up, it's going to be tattoo parlors, massage parlors, and bowling alleys.
Yes.
People could go bowling in Georgia again, and that's when we put this little Limp Bizkit-inspired ditty together.
All right, Georgia. Keep on bowling, baby.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp will allow some non-essential businesses to begin reopening. Tattoo parlors, bowling alleys, salons, and barbershops can reopen.
Ladies and gentlemen, coronavirus. Gotta keep on bowling, baby.
Come on.
Lift off the lockdown. Feel free to go out. Get up, haircut. Tell me what you're gonna do now. Keep bowling, 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 bowling. Keep bowling, 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 bowling. Come on. Keep bowling, 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 bowling. Keep bowling, 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 bowling. You know I got a 7-10 split right here. EMP, Brian Kemp has no fear. Every time I roll, it's a strike or a spare. Got shoes you share, balls you share. 3 or 4 weeks, fewer people getting sick. So come get your kicks with this Kemp Brisket mix. So what's your handicap, punk? Yo, set the pins up and wish me good luck while I pick this spare up. Keep bowling, 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 bowling. Yeah! Bowling, come on. Yeah. Bowling, bowling. Yeah. Keep bowling, 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 bowling.
So that's the number 4 seed, bowling.
You know what pisses me off? That song actually pisses me off at the beginning because you hear that stuffy elitist reporter saying, Governor Kemp has opened the non-essential businesses.
Oh, that's Mika. That's bleeding from the face.
Oh, is
Mika.
that who that was?
Yeah.
Mika Brzezinski from Morning Joe.
Correct.
Wow. Oh, I hated her. Oh, I know hate's a really strong word, but like every time I hear the word term non-essential business, F you.
So vote right now. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. Which one of those two do you want to advance to the round of 8? Is it the Joe Biden Duets album or Georgia Bowling? Follow us on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. Cast your vote. Same thing on Facebook. Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Follow us, like us, cast your vote. You have until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Real quick, man, got kind of heated on CNN last night, Nige.
Yeah.
On one side, you had the Center for American Progress, Neera Tanden.
Oh, I'm sure she's great at parties.
And then on the other side, you had CNN's Republican Scott Jennings. Again, kind of the breakout star for Republican media the last year.
Worked in the swamp a lot. I think he was advisor in the Bush administration. Mitch McConnell at one point, advisor.
So the subject was what's happening with these Teslas and the dealerships. These lunatics are setting fire to them. They're keying them. Is it terrorism? Is it just vandalism? Here is Scott Jennings.
And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
Okay, that's a pretty strong take.
Agreed.
Here now with the counterpoint is Center for American Progress CEO Neera Tanden.
So when they do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them. Is that your position?
No, I've never. I don't
Are
support,
we okay with the January 6th protests?
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me educate you. No, you don't need to need to be condescending to me. So let me educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me finish it. Let me finish it.
Let's
do this January 6th
and then Neera. I'm sorry you're getting emotional.
I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
Stop that.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here, said that no violence in our political system is acceptable. But this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want? The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of.
I love how everything goes back to January 6th.
Everything.
Like, what is she talking about? So he just got done talking about how it's domestic terrorism. And these people are lighting Tesla dealerships on fire in response to Elon Musk being part of the Trump administration. And she goes, and the response was this Progress CEO doofus going, oh, so it's your position that January 6th was just fine, right? Who said anything about January 6th?
It's all they have. I could say,
what are you
boy,
talking
my
about?
stomach's really upset. Well, that's because January 6th. I could say, I can't believe most teams are still in spring training, but the Cubs are 0-2 in the real season. Well, January 6th, dummy.
Yeah,
okay.
And by the way, I'll disagree with Jennings. I'd say most of the people who were peacefully in there and didn't do anything but were taking tours January 6th should have been pardoned. Not the violent ones, not the ones that were smashing things and breaking things. But yeah, the people that were charged with parading, yeah, they should have been pardoned.
And you could tell this woman has done zero research on who Scott Jennings is or what his stances are. She had a pre-written response. She was going to go down January 6th Avenue no matter what happened.
How does she know what his position is simply by saying the Tesla dealership is burning those things were terrorism? Oh, so it's your position that January 6th was just fine? Well, not that it has anything to do with anything.
Man, there's nothing on television tonight. Well, that's because January 6th. Oh, got it. Thanks.
Don't be showing up to that tournament party empty-handed. Grab a bottle of Barkeep vodka. It's made in Indy. It's distilled with corn from Indiana farmers, and it's the smoothest vodka we've ever tasted, and better value than most other top-shelf vodkas out there.
Time to get to the liquor store. Time to get to the grocery store and grab your bottle of Barkeep vodka. Mix up some cocktails, and you're not going to find a better vodka at a lower price. Barkeep vodka, that's the one you want to grab. Pick up a bottle today. Check it out at barkeepvodka.com.
Thousands of Hoosier veterans are struggling with homelessness, unemployment, and other urgent needs. With your help, Veteran Support Network provides housing, job training, food, and emergency assistance. And every dollar stays in Indiana. Veteran Support Network, in partnership with Dreisky Moving and Storage in Westfield, working together to support local veterans. Go to veteransupportnetwork.org to help with rent, utilities, auto repairs, home repairs, and more. Stand with Indiana veterans. Donate now at veteransupportnetwork.org.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth. Since 1868, member FDIC.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
JMV here for Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden Nursery. Stock is arriving daily, and both locations are filling up. Come shop early and save 20% off all container trees and shrubs in stock now at both Sundown Gardens in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Their gift shops are full of spring color, too. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135, just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Stop in and see them this week.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest. When plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew knows how to put water in its place. We do it all, from the kitchen sink to delicate repairs in historic homes, and we'll always give you honest advice at a fair price. So if you're worried about the cost of plumbing repairs, call today for a free second opinion on a competitor's estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Sheryl Crow, Madeline Edwards, and Waxahachie, Thursday, September 18th at Ruop Music Center.
All right, it's getting dark, Matt Bear. It's getting dark. Storms are a-coming later on. How are we looking right now?
Hammer, we already have a 20-minute delay on the south side on eastbound 465 from the White River over to US 31. That's because of a crash blocking the left lane. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from the White River to Meridian Penn, a 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Belmont. Crash on the west side Rockville Road at Girls School Road. Eastbound lanes of Rockville really in trouble, as we do have a crash with injury. Southbound 31 slow into 465. Northbound 465 stop and go before 86 to 865. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Enjoy this temperature right now because it ain't going to be this warm later on. 65 right now, but the clouds are moving in. A little pre-rain before the cold front comes in, and then later on, more storms. It's 65 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, we'll check in with Tara Hastings, meteorologist for Wish TV 8. And we'll keep an eye on these storms. We heard Marcus Bailey earlier, Nige, say there were some tornadoes around the Peoria, Illinois area.
Yeah. And I also want to ask her about what's this BS tomorrow with the did I hear snow?
Oh.
Did I hear... Or at least maybe flurries or snow mixed with rain tomorrow. I want to get the lowdown there for sure.
Yeah, when this cold front comes in, it's going to be a big kick to the junk wearing a steel toe work boot, man. Something you would see on a Jackass episode. So that's what we're keeping our eye on.
Yay.
Can you believe 2015 was 10 years ago now?
Doesn't seem like that long ago.
Like Donald Trump was running for president, for the first time. Deflategate. The Colts and the Patriots 10 years ago, man.
I think the viral story then was the dress, what color the dress was.
Right. Was it green? Was it tan?
Yeah.
Something like that 10 years ago. So we started looking things up. These were things that happened 10 years ago that have gone away that nobody's talking about anymore. Like an $800 beater car. Like an old beat-up car you could buy for $800 and it would just run.
You can't find one of those anymore for less than like $20,000.
24-hour businesses. The pandemic kind of killed a lot of those off. Yeah. Unless your name is Waffle House or something like that. Not a lot of 24-hour businesses. Physical checks as a payment. Do you have any checks at home at all?
We still pay by, Lindsay still pays our bills by check via check, stamp, envelope.
Wow, old
mailbox.
school.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. All right, coming up here in just a moment, we are going to touch base with Tara Hastings, Wish TV, an updated timeline of what we can expect tonight.
Are you having
Having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms, with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Better water is getting even better at C&J Water. Get a free Premier Reverse Osmosis System when you purchase any water softener and save $990. C&J is the water treatment partner of the Indiana Pacers and Fever and believes everyone deserves better water, well water, or city water. When you invest in any new water softener from C&J, you'll get their Premier Reverse Osmosis System. That's a $990 value absolutely free. C&J Water for great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
A deportation fight escalates. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as the Trump administration doubles down on criticism of the federal judge who tried to block President Trump's use of a wartime law to send suspected foreign gang members to El Salvador last weekend. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the judge doesn't preside over the Alien Enemies Act.
They're meddling in foreign affairs. They're meddling in our government. And the question should be, why is a judge trying to protect terrorists who have invaded our country over American citizens.
And today, the judge granted another one-day extension of his order for the administration to provide more details on the deportations, and he's defending his continued review of whether the government complied with his temporary restraining orders. No change in interest rates from the Fed, though the central bank is signaling caution over economic uncertainty and tariffs.
But more important than that, we got the forecast for the rest of the year. Now, the dot plot, that famed dot plot, shows 2 rate cuts of 25 basis points the Federal Reserve is signifying will happen this year. That is exactly the same as it was in their December forecast. Now, the message from the Fed chairman was, let's wait and see how these policies will start to play out.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence, the Fed lowering growth projections for this year, but Chairman Jerome Powell also calling the overall picture right now solid. A jury in North Dakota finds Greenpeace liable for defamation and other claims over protests against the Dakota Access Pipeline in 2016 and 17. Attorneys for the pipeline company argued Greenpeace paid outsiders to protest and told lies about the project as part of a scheme to stop construction. The jury awarding the company and its subsidiary hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. Greenpeace has called the case a test of free speech rights and says the fight is not over. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Rough weather moves in from the north and west. Once again, the possibility of strong winds and tornadoes. A tornado watch in effect for western counties through 9 p.m. Central Indiana counties being warned about the wind.
Once it gets closer to the state line, it becomes a big, long line. And probably in that 7 to 9 time frame, it moves through the metro. And I think it's probably out of the state and into western Ohio, probably around midnight.
Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey talking to Hammer and Nigel after the storms move out.
Our winds die down a little bit and then switch to northwesterly overnight, and then by tomorrow morning those northwesterly winds are going to bring in much colder air, and actually rain could mix with snow at times tomorrow.
National Weather Service forecaster Matt Eckhoff. Metrics played a role in the selection of the new Indiana University men's basketball head coach Darren DeVries. John Herrick explains.
IU Athletic Director Scott Dolson said Wednesday one thing really stood out to him about DeVries.
One of the things that was super interesting was really looking at what were Darren's winning percentage in games decided by 5 points or less. And he had a 65% winning percentage in his career, and that's a big thing.
And DeVries explained what all goes into winning those close games, and any game for that matter.
Playing together, playing unselfish. The teams that can do that the best typically are the teams that have the most success, and that'll be our focus.
DeVries likes his teams to score quickly and play physical on defense.
It may be tough to imagine a house with a brand new baby and no bottles or no bedding for the baby, but that's what police found when 4-month-old Iyari died in March of 23 inside a house on Holmes Avenue in Indy. Now her father, Darren Washington, has been found guilty of neglect. Tiara Crute, the child's mother, got a 16-year prison sentence in January. Hospitals in Indiana could be punished for charging too much. It's their facility fees being considered by a Senate committee that passed a bill Wednesday that puts a cap of 265% of the Medicare reimbursement rate. While that's not a figure that normal people know about, what you should know is that if they charge more than that, they get an excise tax and risk losing their nonprofit status. Even though the bill passed that committee, some lawmakers don't believe it does enough to keep hospital costs in check. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered. Busted brackets not included. For over 2,000 vehicles, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
Southside crash clear. Eastbound 465 at US 31, still slow. Back to Man Road. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic from the White River Bridge to Meridian Penn for a 10-minute delay. Eastbound 75-minute delay from Harding to the South Split. Inbound 69 stop and go traffic 106th Street to 82nd. Eastbound 465 loaded from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road, and northbound 465 stop and go from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
My favorite part of having an afternoon weather update live with Tara Hastings of Wish TV is usually her kids are in the background, like running with scissors, like spraying the fire extinguisher.
Breaking glass.
Diving off of like the top level of the house. It's all hell breaking loose, and I'm here for it, Tara.
Well, I just ran upstairs and I said, Jet stinks, so I think he's got a dirty diaper.
Oh, no.
I just ran upstairs and told my husband.
Honey, I got to go to work.
I know, sorry.
Dirty diaper downstairs.
But I love it, man. It was one of my favorite things because it reminds me of back when my kids were little, hearing all the chaos going on in the background.
Yeah, and you're in the thick of it, aren't you, Tara? Dirty diapers? Right. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so my son turns 2 on Saturday, and he is a Spitfire. Like, I don't know if this is boy mom life. You guys got boys, right?
Yes.
So he, when was that? Sunday evening, tripped, and his cheek met the windowsill, and there was blood and instant bruising. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we go to the urgent care. They're like, everything's okay. We'll put some glue on it. I mean, he has got a shiner.
Poor guy.
No,
and that's awesome.
A shiner and a full diaper.
Yeah.
That's a true boy right there. That's a little boy for you.
And that's all normal. Man. Every bit of that is normal, Tara.
Is it? Okay.
All right. Let me tell you what I don't think is normal. Now, you're the expert that I'm not. The fact that it was like 65 2 hours ago, and I'm hearing we may have snow tomorrow. I don't think that's normal.
No, it's ridiculous. I'm over it. You know, tomorrow's the official day of spring. It begins at 5 a.m. And, we have the chance for some snow showers. I don't think we're going to see, accumulating snow or anything like that. But, it's going to be cold enough. And the really crappy part is the winds are still going to be high. So it's going to be breezy. So high temperatures are only going to be in the 40s tomorrow, but you get the wind out there, and the wind chill values are going to fall into the 30s. It's just going to be awful. It's just awful.
All right. So before we get to the depressing forecast of tomorrow, let's talk about what lies ahead of us here the next couple of hours. We've been keeping track of this system that's developing in Illinois that has the potential to be a problem here in Indy a little bit later on. What's the latest?
Okay, so I'm looking at the radar right now, and we just have a few light showers coming down across parts of Morgan County. So Mooresville, Brooklyn, over to Martinsville as well, just a few light showers. And then we've got some more rain and thunderstorms forming across parts of central sections of Illinois, and all that's moving east. So western Indiana under a tornado watch until about 10 p.m. And then I just looked, southern Indiana is also under a tornado watch right along the Ohio River until about, I think, midnight or so. We're thinking that thunderstorms are going to form a line and move across the state line. And then I think about 7 to maybe 9 o'clock, we'll give you that 2-hour window, I think is the best chance of seeing that line moving through here in central Indiana. So that's what we're watching for as far as timing goes. And I know you guys probably want to know, are we going to see tornadic activity, right? So I think the best chance of seeing tornadoes, and we already have some tornado warnings popping up in central Illinois, best chance western Indiana, central Illinois. But we can't rule out maybe a quick spin up because we've got these winds going from the surface into the upper levels of the atmosphere changing with height. And so that kind of gives us that rotation. So there's a potential that we could see maybe a quick spin-up tornado across parts of central Indiana. We just have to watch this line, and as it moves across the state, what is it going to do? And we should know that a little bit more in the next couple of hours.
And again, a little weather 101 here. When you have a warm weather system that's in place and then something totally different coming in right after that, those collide a little bit, and that's kind of the system that's coming our way, and that creates a problem from 7 to 9 p.m.
Yes, look at you. Way to
See?
go. You have listened to Marcus and I appreciate that.
I have. Listen, I've said this before. I went to school because I wanted to be you guys. I wanted to be the guy on the Weather Channel, shirtless, hanging onto a palm tree in Kill Devil Hills, yelling at thunder snow. Like, I wanted to be that guy. But different path happened here. So
here you are. Yes.
So 7 to 9 p.m., that's when we could see some activity. And then as for the official kickoff to spring, tomorrow and the following days, what are we looking at?
Okay, so I think by midnight, the whole line, the thunderstorms, clears the state. So 7 to 9 here in Indy, eastern Indiana, 9 p.m. afterwards. Midnight, everything's out, and it's Ohio's problem, right? Okay, so later tonight, those temperatures begin to crash. We're going with lows into the 30s overnight tonight, and so chilly conditions early tomorrow morning. Make sure you grab the coat. I know the last couple of mornings, it's like, hey, this is great. It's mild. Not tomorrow. We're talking about 30s, and the winds are going to switch direction, so more out of the west and then eventually northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. We may see gusts about 30 miles per hour. High temperatures only in the 40s, and then you're going to see those wind chill values into the 30s. So definitely, I know, wah, wah. I will say this. I think the chilly air only going to be here for a day, because then we're going to see temperatures on Friday bounce back up into the 50s, and then the weekend temperatures into the lower 50s too. So really a miserable day on Thursday, but I do believe that is also a lot of basketball games are on TV. So if you just want to park it in front of the couch and watch some basketball,
that's right.
That might be the thing to do. You know?
Have the radio up, listen to the Hammer and Nigel show, have
There
one
you
screen
go.
on Wish TV, and have the rest on the games, and that sounds like an afternoon to me. That sounds perfect.
Right? Yeah, just crack a beer or
10,
some wine or
12,
some bourbon, whatever.
Yeah,
or
whatever.
a Coke, whatever works.
Before we let you go, because tomorrow is spring and some families still on spring break. My youngest, who's still in high school, on spring break this week because they get 2 weeks of it. Yeah. Was Tara Hastings a handful on spring break back in the day? Were you one of those people that would go down to like Panama City and try to get on MTV and make out with Pauly Shore?
I was not that cool. No, I wish. I was a nerd in high school. So, no, I was not that fun. But I will say we are going to be renting a minivan, and we're going to be hopping in it, and we are going to be driving to Florida.
Holiday Road.
Oh, yeah. The old family truckster making the road trip. I love it. I'm here for it. All right.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Tara, if we need to get some more information on this weather system tonight, where can we go?
Well, you can go to wishtv.com/weather. We also have the banner right at the top of the homepage that has our interactive radar, wishtv.com. You can also follow me on all the social channels, Met Tara Hastings on the Twitter or X, and then meteorologist Tara Hastings on Facebook and Instagram, too.
Tara Hastings,
Thank you, Tara.
are an American treasure. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Matt Bear All right, this is the calm before the storms, so to speak. We got a couple hours to play with, I think. How's it looking?
South side crash did clear on eastbound 465 at US 31, still slow past I-69. Now downtown on northbound 6570 in the south split, traffic hazard as you move your way through. And then eastbound 70 right now jammed up Belmont to the south split, 4 or 5 minute delay. Inbound 65, 8-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 465 stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Crash Fall Creek Road at 79th reported as an injury crash and a crash on the west side, Rockville Road at Girls School. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Tornado watch is in effect for the western part of the WIBC listening area, pretty much the western part of the state, and now also down by the Ohio River area. Between 7 and 9, according to Tara Hastings, according to Marcus Bailey, that's when we could see some action here in central Indy in terms of some dicey weather. So be ready for that. 64 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. A fun round of Are You Okay With This next.
Wine Enthusiast magazine just rated Barkeep Vodka 94 points, so the highest rated vodkas ever for that publication.
Barkeep Vodka made and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. It's a top shelf vodka. It's so smooth, but it's sold at a low price. It really is the best on the market, the best value for your dollar. When you see Barkeep Vodka, that's the one you want. BarkeepVodka.com. Log on today. Grab a bottle tonight.
Showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Don't press your luck thinking your sump pump is working properly before it's too late. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that can sneak inside and wreak havoc in your home. Luckily for you, during the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering a $300 off the purchase of a new sump pump with a battery backup. Call Hope Plumbing today and keep your head above water.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The financial advisor industry is a flawed system. Find out how to fight back and protect your retirement on Expedition Retirement. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Are you really okay with
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show. Oh, yeah! Superstar music sensation. The biggest star in all of country music. And Jeff Boggs is a big fan of this guy, Luke Bryan.
Oh, yeah, it's his favorite artist.
Luke Bryan was out at a local gas station. Again, Luke Bryan is a huge star.
Yes.
Let's not. I mean,
and in no way looks like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. No way.
Somebody recognized Luke Bryan at a gas station, except the fan thought he was Blake Shelton. Here's Luke Bryan on his social media talking about it.
Stopped by to get some snacks from a gas station. This kind of big guy, he's just staring me down. I'm like, oh, yeah. He recognizes me. He goes, man, you look just like Blake Shelton. You're not Blake Shelton, are you? And I said, I'm not Blake Shelton. He goes, you got to get that all the time. You're his doppelganger. And he goes, could you imagine what it would be like to have Blake Shelton's money?
Are you okay with how Luke Bryan handled the fan that didn't recognize him, thought he was somebody else?
Yeah, it's fine. He had fun with it, right? Like, it wasn't like one of these people, no, I'm not Blake Shelton. You are talking to Mr. Country Music. These skinny jeans aren't Blake Shelton's, they're mine. No, it's fine. He handled it okay. Our old producer, Kyle, used to do an awesome impression of Luke Bryan, and all it was him saying his name. I'm Luke Bryan.
I'm Luke Bryan.
That's it. But
you don't tell the guy, no, I'm actually, look, I'm not Blake Shelton. I'm actually Luke Bryan.
No,
you don't.
Because what if that guy hates Luke Bryan? Oh, damn. Then he turns around and walks away. I think Jeff Boggs would like to meet Blake Shelton. I don't think he would like to meet Luke Bryan.
I believe Luke Bryan blocked not Kenny Rogers, that handle.
Yes.
Jeff Boggs on social media.
Correct. Yeah.
What his problem is with that guy.
When did country music dudes start twerking? Because when I was growing up, Randy Travis didn't twerk. Garth Brooks didn't twerk. Allison, feel free to jump in because I feel like you would have a better handle on this new country. When did country dudes start twerking?
When did bro country come to be? That is the question. I don't know. Maybe
bro country
5-10 years ago? When they really started getting more pop. Remember they had a moment in the mid-2000s where they started having rappers featured on? Jason Aldean had one with Ludacris. I think they're just trying to get more mainstream.
Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when it turned a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm okay with this. He didn't act like a diva. Had that been Reese Witherspoon, she would have had a resume ready to hand to this guy to let everybody know who she was.
It's like when he's singing Twerk It, he's singing Country Girl, and then I'm watching, you're right, I'm watching Luke Bryan right now twerk when he's singing Country Girl.
You're going to get brought into HR, and it's going to be the most embarrassing thing in the world. Mr. Laskowski, we searched your search engine. You were looking up Luke Bryan twerking. Care to explain?
Luke Bryan, drop that thun.
No. I'll keep my thun right where it is.
A ranch owner in Massachusetts recently passed away. He asked his family to let his favorite horse spread his ashes. They fixed him to a saddle, let her run through the field. It happened in September. It's trending. Some some people are reposting the footage. So they put the ashes on the horse, and they just got to let the horse run wild, and the ashes spread all over the place. Are you good with this?
I'm good with this in theory, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I've told my kids, when my time on this planet's done, just make ashes out of me, sprinkle a little bit at the Bellagio fountain in Vegas, a little at the Indianapolis 500, and maybe Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do with the rest, knock yourselves out.
That's a lot of work.
It is, but it's road trips. I think they'd enjoy it.
Okay, sure.
It's the 500, it's a Cubs game, and it's Vegas. It's not like I'm asking them to go to Nebraska or something. But the part I don't like about the story where the ranch owner says it was his favorite horse. How sad do you think the other horses were that they didn't get the call to sprinkle the ashes? It's like the end of The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy is trying to be like all emotional, but she hugs the scarecrow. I think I'll miss you most of all. Well, that's a crappy thing to say. Right there next to like the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man, who risked life and death to bring you here. You're going to say you love the scarecrow most of all, you little heifer? You know what? Maybe the witch should have got you.
How did we get from spreading this dude's ashes to Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz?
It's just a crappy thing to say. I think I'll miss you most of all. Well, screw you.
Wow. A traveler booked a hotel for an international trip to the Middle East through Expedia, got a great deal. Then that hotel strong-armed them into canceling because the rate was too low for them to accommodate. Are you okay with this?
No, this sucks. And you're telling me that this person, this traveler, did everything right, did the research, found a low rate on a site. They got there and the hotel said, well, you were too good at what you were doing. We're not going to honor that. No, this kind of reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where he had a reservation for a car, but they didn't keep or hold the reservation.
I'm sorry, we have no midsize available at the moment.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservations.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Right. That's what this reminds me of. This traveler booked a great deal. When you get there, you expect the hotel to honor you booking the great deal, for sure.
A single parking spot in Boston. Again, a parking spot. Just hit the market for $750,000.
You mean a parking, like a whole garage?
No.
A parking lot?
No, just one spot.
One
Boston,
spot.
$750,000. It's in a parking garage in Beacon Hill, right around the corner from Boston Common. It's kind of like by the famous Cheers bar. Are you okay with the cost of a single parking spot? I didn't.
$750,000 for one parking spot for a year. No, I'll walk. I will take an Uber. I will walk. I am not paying that much money. So if $750,000 for a parking spot sounds like a lot, you also got to factor in the garage charges a monthly fee and the property taxes as well. So when you own this spot, you also got to pay the $400 in fees at the garage and the property taxes, which are $291 a month. And somebody has actually bid on this. There is somebody.
Are they going to live in it?
I don't know what they're going to do
park
in
their
it.
RV in it and live?
Now, mind you, according to Fortune.com, the average house in America, just the average from the top to the, trailer somewhere in the middle, $419,000. This is a $750,000 parking spot. Parking spot.
No thanks.
Damn ridiculous. All right, Tony Kennett, the Tonus from the Daily Signal and the Tony Kennett Cast coming up tonight at 7. We're going to connect with him next. We're going to have a great conversation. We're keeping our eye on the weather, but right now, we're keeping our eye on the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Unelected federal judges. The main line of storms still back in Illinois. A tornado watch in effect for western Indiana through 9 o'clock. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey saying you can expect the storms in central Indiana from 7 to 9 tonight. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
You have one unelected federal judge trying to control foreign policies, trying to control the Alien Enemies Act, which they have no business presiding over.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox's The Will Cain Show. She's criticizing federal judges like James Boasberg, who has ordered the flights deporting illegal immigrants to stop, and the president to account for those flights. Interest rates stay where they are, and that had a positive effect on the stock market. Hillary Barsky reports.
Stocks ending higher after the Fed announced that it would be holding interest rates steady, Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
The committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%.
The central bank also maintained its previous prediction for 2 rate cuts at some point this year. Fed officials see inflation staying higher this year than previously estimated and economic growth going lower than prior predictions. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
Terrorism can't be ruled out in the Tesla attacks.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department is searching for the suspect who threw Molotov cocktails on cars at a Las Vegas Tesla business and also shot a gun several times into Tesla vehicles. The FBI says it is too soon in the investigation to say whether the Las Vegas incident is connected to the others around the country. Tesla locations in at least 11 states have been damaged by protest vandals. Attorney General Pam Bondi said these attacks are, quote, nothing short of domestic terrorism. Musk shared his theory on what's behind all this.
I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Alicia Acuna, Fox News.
And I know that it's where it all begins is with the work. It has to start and end there, because without that, you cannot have success.
Darren DeVries, the new head basketball coach at IU, introduced during a press conference today. He knows a lot about work, too. His winning record at Drake made him a prime candidate for the IU job. Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
Crash on the south side at southbound 65 before Raymond, blocking the left shoulder, causing slow traffic into the south split. At eastbound 70, also stop and go on the south end of downtown Belmont to the south split for a 9-minute delay. 9-minute delay on southbound 65 from MLK to Meridian Pad. Southbound 69, stop and go traffic after 106th Street down to 82nd. East side southbound 465 grinding from 70 past Washington Street. Crash Fall Creek Road is 79th, and a crash on the west side. This is Rockville Road, a girls' school road, and now a crash reported in Fisher Southeastern Parkway, south of 136th Street. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. At Jackson Hewitt, expert tax prep is now $149 or less. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/49-149. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tornado watches have been issued for western Indiana. The line of strong to severe storms will be crossing the state from 4 p.m. through midnight. Damaging wind also a concern. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kennett Cast every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. right after our show here at 93 WIBC. The Tonus, Tony Kennett, is with us. And Tony, this is a question I asked Nige earlier, and I think it's a fair question. Do you think there were a large number of Democrats who were rooting for something bad to happen to those astronauts when they were coming back because it was an Elon Musk rocket that was bringing them home?
Yes. And the reason that I say yes so quickly is because there's an article out from Rick Wilson, who was a Republican like 37 and a half years ago. But
is he one of the guys at the Lincoln Project, Tony, that may or may not have known that there was some pedo stuff going on? Is that the same dude?
Oh, yeah. You mean the guy who works for the company where the executives were allegedly touching boys? Well, yes, that would be the one.
Okay, just making sure.
This guy released an article this morning for his Substack, which, as you and I know, is the mark of a very successful journalist, about how ending Tesla, his words were, kill Tesla to save America, with a thumbnail that was a picture of a burning Cybertruck. So, I think they probably were rooting for the death of the 3 American astronauts and the 1 Russian cosmonaut in that capsule on its way back down. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they had tweets ready to go in the event of a tragedy.
I mean, you hear Jimmy Kimmel's crowd like applauding when they think that, Jimmy's making a joke about doing vandalism to Teslas. And the way they speak about Elon Musk, there's no doubt in my mind. They had their talking points ready. They were ready to send those tweets out the minute something bad happened, but nothing did. And some of them are pissed off about it. And that's gross.
And let's talk for a second about companies that do things that I don't like. There was a large conservative boycott of Bud Light. There are a lot of conservatives that don't shop Ben and Jerry's because the company's socialist and super pro-abortion leaning.
Super progressive, yeah.
Right. Do you see pictures of Republicans burning down Bud Light trucks? Like Anheuser-Busch trucks, or Republicans that are slashing all of the Ben and Jerry's in the supermarket? No.
In fairness, Kid Rock did take an AK-47 to a crate full of Bud Light. I will say,
in the store, or
no, you're right. No, there's a distinction. That was in his backyard. Okay, yeah, not on the lot. Yeah, you're totally
And devil's advocate,
yes.
He still sold it in his bar.
Yeah, right. In Nashville. No, that's true. That's true. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this to Elon Musk? People listening to this, wait a minute. People are vandalizing and lighting Tesla dealerships on fire. Why Elon Musk? Why now?
Because I was a middle school teacher who saw children who didn't get their way. And the very first thing that children do when they don't get their way is they throw things and they kick things and they cause damage to everything around them because they are mad. And they are upset that you don't view their anguish as valuable, as mature. And so they immediately start picking up desks and setting them down very forcefully. Teachers out there who are listening, you know what I'm talking about. The kid doesn't have anything to damage, so they pick their desk up and then they slam it down like that piece of ceramic and metal is going to do anything. That's what they're doing with the Teslas. You have all of these rich, spoiled, little entitled, grumpy wine moms. I've got to get back at Elon. So they go and run a key down the Tesla, or they, like the younger ones do, they light a Tesla charging station on fire as though that's convincing people.
But getting back at him for what? Being on Team Trump, being MAGA, being with Doge and perusing through the federal bureaucracy and cutting federal waste? That's what they're mad at?
He's not even doing the cutting, and that's what's hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, and the judge got slapped this morning for saying in his ruling that, well, Elon Musk doesn't have the right to fire USAID workers. And it's I'm glad that you said that, because he hasn't. He's made recommendations. If I hire Jason Hammer to come out to my studio and tell me everything in the studio that shouldn't belong in the studio, then I can do that. It doesn't mean that Jason Hammer now has the right to throw things out of my studio, but I have invited him in to point things out that shouldn't be here. In the same way, Elon Musk waltzes into a business at the request of the owner and says, yeah, that stuff shouldn't be here. That doesn't mean Elon Musk is now running amok, torching things inside the business like people are with Teslas, but he's making recommendations. Has no one ever done an audit before? The lack of intelligence in this just astounds me.
And it's just funny to think that Donald Trump has used, maybe not used is the right word, but like Elon Musk, they're making Democrats cheer against cutting federal waste. They're they're making Democrats cheer for Venezuelan gangs and supporting them. That's the genius of Trump, is he's literally turned Democrats.
He's used their TDS against them.
Yes.
As the midterms come up, now they're team Venezuelan gang members.
If I've ever said, if there are two talents that Nigel has, A, it's throwing up on microphone.
Yes.
B, it's pointing out the core issue that others miss. And this is Trump's superpower. Trump's superpower, as you clearly pointed out, is making the left defend stupid things. Because as Trump said in his State of the Union style address, I could say anything at all and they wouldn't clap for it. And so then what did Trump do? He then celebrates the foster parents, the kid with cancer, like all of these other things. And the left just stood there and grumbled and mumbled, but then applauded for Ukraine funding. That's Trump's superpower. And so now what you have is Trump forcing the left to defend Tren de Aragua gang members, rapists, traffickers. They've got him defending domestic terrorism, have him defending Hamas openly, like a person who went to the leader of Hezbollah's funeral and has open ties to terrorism. They won't let her back in the country, forcing the left to freak out about it. I mean, it's amazing. I've never seen anyone with that ability.
And Tony, I think the reason that this is happening on the political left, those folks let these radical lunatics become the face of the party. And then, as a result, they had their asses handed to them in an election. So now I'm seeing people like Gavin Newsom, who is pretty progressive, don't get it twisted, but I think even dudes like Gavin are taking a step backwards going, okay, maybe I should have a podcast and bring on Charlie Kirk. Maybe I should do this and that. Like, I think the writing's on the wall for most of these Democrats that if you allow the people who applaud when Jimmy Kimmel calls for violence, you will never win again.
I called this back in 2020 when I was in an IPS work meeting, and I sat in a meeting where there was this blonde wine mom chick who I, out of respect, won't name, who was on the English director staff, and then there was a math coach director staff guy, and they argued in this meeting we had for an hour and a half, for 90 minutes, over who was more oppressed, gay people or black people. They just argued about, again, like two white straight people argued for 90 minutes over whether gay people or black people were more oppressed. And I remember thinking, this is what's going to be the end of the Democrat Party, because they have let this ideology in where we have to spend all of our time going, but guys, we haven't talked about gay people for like 15 minutes. And that's going to ruin the party, because once you give them power, they don't give it back up, which is why Jasmine Crockett's running around the country right now trying to bicker with AOC and Chuck Schumer on The View, of all places, about who is more oppressed and should get to run the Democrat Party. It's incredible. It's the best TV we've ever had.
We asked Tomi Lahren about this the other day when she came on, and she backed it up. There is no person more offended in this country than a suburban white woman right now. For whatever reason, suburban white women, and also, this is the piggyback, dudes who are trying to have sex with suburban white women. They are the most offended, soft-ass people our country has to offer right now.
I do find that a little rich coming from Tomi Lahren, just a bit, given that she then turned around and said, well, I wouldn't misgender Representative McBride from Delaware, just to be mean. And I thought, man, the pot calling the kettle black just a bit. It comes on all sides. But yes, for all intents and purposes, the age of the offended wine mom is coming to a close. And thank God.
And you see it at a local level, too. And I want to take a break. Right. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the suburban white wine mom, school board races, because that's kind of their bread and butter, and why it's important to have that R or the D next to their name in school board races. Can you come back?
Absolutely.
All right, we're having a chat with Tony Kinnett of the Tony Kinnett Cast. We are coming right back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Finally, spring has sprung, and Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan are celebrating with our spring open house this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Pat Sullivan here, and that means Pansy Roulette, where everyone is a winner. You could receive between 10 and 100% off your purchase of gift items, plants, garden accents, and grill accessories. Just pick a pansy, go shopping, and let your cashier open the tab to reveal your savings. Check the specials on all of our patio furniture, pre-season priced at 30% off. During this event, you'll get an extra 10% off. Make sure you see the additional spring open house specials throughout all of our stores. And on Saturday, there'll be free seminars on plants, lawns, decorating, container gardening, and much more. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets. Class dismissed.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Shop the All-American sale at Grand Appliance for slam dunk savings on select American-made appliances. Don't miss out. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
A big pothole on the exit ramp of the South Split. It's northbound 65 going to westbound 70 like you're driving to the airport. That ramp is open, but there is a pothole blocking the left lane of the exit ramp. Well, it's not blocking, you just don't want to hit it. Southbound 65-70 backed up from the north split down to the south split because of an earlier crash. It has cleared, but we're still slow down to Raymond Street. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic, Harding Street into the south split. Inbound 65, stop and go around MLK, then a slow roll into the north split. Eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Crash on the northeast side. It's Fall Creek Road is 79th. And a crash on the southeast. This is going to be Fisher, Southeastern Parkway, south of 136th Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
63 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Man, I feel like money.
Back with Tony Kennett. His program starts right after hours tonight at 7 o'clock, right here at 93 WIBC, the Tony Kennett Cast. So, Tony, there is legislation moving fast and furious through the Indiana State House that would make it mandatory that if you're running for a school board race, you have to declare a political party. It's not that way right now. Hopefully, it will be moving forward. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think that if someone wants to declare a political party, they should be able to. There's no reason that Democrats in the state get to slink by elections because Republicans are not allowed to declare themselves Republicans. Because let's be real, what the Democrat school board members out there who are very liberal are terrified of is being exposed when they don't basically run as a Republican, and then they don't get to enjoy the straight ticket system that this state has. And I just don't feel bad for him. The School Board Association, the Principals Association, these little union groups that run the administrative levels of schools in our state are universally terrible. They are staffed by people who universally suck, who think that they're special because they have like a dog catcher style office and they think they can treat people like garbage. Well, I'm sorry, the chickens are coming home to roost.
And I saw a classic example at the property tax rally of why I'm hoping this law gets signed and passed through when two of the red-shirted liberal Democrat weirdos came over to the peaceful property tax rally and tried to make asses of themselves. One of them ended up getting cuffed and dragged out. The other one was, taken away by the police after trying to bicker with everybody. Make them put a political letter, a D or an R, next to their name. Everybody needs to see what side has the lunatics on it, because I got a funny feeling there's a lot of people that vote in these school boards that have no idea that some of the folks that they've cast a vote for are these level of crazy.
So I really do enjoy thinking about this in terms of the Hamilton Southeastern group, because the left likes to make hay over the fact that some of the school board members over there are conservative. And so then when I watch some of the live streams of those school board meetings and I see how the left acts, which the best way to describe it is chucking a bag of meth into a zoo, I'm really shocked when I see the left who's claiming all of these norms are being violated. It's the left acting insane because, God forbid, we don't force a child into castrating themselves. And maybe we should focus on academics instead of racial politics. But the left screaming again and again and again, I really do enjoy watching them out themselves as crazy, like they did at the property tax rally.
What is coming up on the big show tonight?
Oh, we are going to take a look at the wonderful underbelly of the Federal Trade Commission and how the Supreme Court of the United States is eventually going to rule in favor of the Trump administration.
I thought you were going to say we're going to look at the underbelly of that teacher that got arrested at the property tax rally the other day.
Come on. Jesse Brown's wife? No, but I have
No, she didn't get arrested. She was just having a little spirited conversation. This was the other lunatic chick that decided to squat down in the middle of the floor, throw a temper tantrum, and the great picture that I've seen on social media is like her Buddha belly sticking out. There's a little under boob maybe hanging out, it's a classy look.
I'm just glad that Ozempic is being taken with responsibility.
Check him out tonight, 7 o'clock, right here after our program, the Tony Kennett Cast. That's Tony Kennett. Tony, have a great show tonight, man.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Have you lived in Indiana most of your life? Yeah, me too. It's home, right? But you might not want to retire here, especially after February. Yikes. Matt Bear here. Let Trajan Wealth help you to your retirement destination with a tailor-made, customized financial portfolio that reflects your retirement hopes and dreams. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first consultation. That's free. Trajan Wealth approaches money management by looking at a longer timeline, always considering the economic conditions and monitoring the markets. And with no limitations on the products they can offer, they focus on your specific situation. Call Trajan Wealth at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
If we are truly the racing capital of the world, we want our audience to be more reflective of the world around us, and Radio 1 has been a great partner in helping us do that.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
I'm Michael Kaltenmark, Senior Director of Marketing for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and proud partner and client of Radio 1.
Diversity.
Radio 1's diverse reach not only allows us to get our message in front of a diverse audience, but then also gets those folks interested as we look to invite more diverse audiences to the track to join us, to let them know that the Speedway is open to them and that they're welcome there. And they've been a strategic partner in helping us achieve that goal.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
We've been able to attract an even larger audience and fill the Speedway with more people because of our partnership with Radio 1.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1's right there with us in the trenches.
Get results with WIBC. It's your home fire escape plan. Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
High, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. Workforce and economic development organizations in Northeast Indiana have launched what they call a unified framework designed to increase student career exploration by bringing more employers into the fold. The Don Wood Foundation in Fort Wayne, along with Greater Fort Wayne Inc., Northeast Indiana Works, and OrthoWorks, says Career 360 Degrees gives employers the opportunity to connect with students even if they don't have the capability to implement a full-scale work-based learning experience.
The way I look at it, it's almost like a funnel. You're building this funnel for students and educators and employers to be able to really drive into this.
That's Patrick Bushing, a vice president with the Don Wood Foundation. He said the region has a growing number of students, but a shortage of employers that are participating in the effort to bring awareness to the types of careers available. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
In December, Evansville announced it had been awarded a $20 million grant from the Environmental Protection Agency to help the city promote a variety of low-emission modes of transportation. But this week, the money was supposed to be available, and the city says it can't access the funds. Evansville now sits in limbo as it waits to learn whether the grant is the latest example of President Donald Trump's crusade against federal bureaucracy. Joe Atkinson, a spokesperson for Mayor Stephanie Terry's office, told Inside Indiana Business the funds are currently in a federal account, but the city of Evansville cannot access them because they're marked as suspended, not active. He says Evansville has not gotten any clarification from the federal government as to why the funds can't be accessed or how long they'll remain that way. Evansville said it planned to use the grant money to fund a number of connected initiatives to improve the overall sustainability and accessibility of transportation in the city. I'm Mark Mazurek for 93 WIBC.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Keeping things status quo. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. As expected, the Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates unchanged.
The central bank is holding its benchmark interest rate steady, Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
The committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%.
The committee also projecting 2 rate cuts at some point this year as inflation moderates but remains above its target and the job market remains relatively healthy. Fed officials now see inflation staying higher this year than previously estimated and economic growth going lower than previous predictions. The Fed is forecasting that it will reach its inflation target of 2% in 2027.
Fox's Hillary Barsky and Powell said he has no reason to believe that the U.S. is experiencing 1970s-style high inflation that prompted the Fed to sharply raise rates and induce a deep recession at that time to defeat it. The news from the Fed sending stocks higher. The Dow gained 383, the Nasdaq added 246, the S&P plus 60. President Trump spoke with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky for about an hour today, working out the plan for a ceasefire with Russia. Special envoy to Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg, is optimistic it'll move forward.
I think everybody has to calm down a bit. Ceasefires are a little bit messy at the start. They're going to calm down. Both sides are going to get together. You're going to get to these complex negotiations, hopefully starting next week in Saudi Arabia. You come up with your term sheets, what it looks like at the end, and then you go to a comprehensive ceasefire.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president also suggested the U.S. take ownership of Ukraine's nuclear power plants to ensure their security. Negotiations with the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine are supposed to continue in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. The Pentagon reportedly reviewing plans that would cut the number of U.S. troops deployed to Guantanamo Bay to handle detained migrants by as much as half. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season, and I'd like
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A new chapter. A tornado watch just to the west through 9 p.m. Storms in Illinois moving this way. You'll get more on that in just a minute. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Saying it's a new chapter may sound like a cliche, but it's what IU hopes for with their new head basketball coach, Darren DeVries of West Virginia, where he coached the Mountaineers for a year before bringing 24 years of Division I experience to Bloomington.
We will want to build something that is sustainable for a long period of time. And we would do that by staying true to what this program is about.
DeVries at an introductory press conference today. He was picked partly because of his winning record at Drake. A tornado watch remains in effect for the western counties in Indiana, with a line of storms in Illinois headed this way, expected in the metro from 7 to 9 and to exit the state sometime around midnight. After that's gone, you can expect colder weather. Ryan Hedrick reports.
A cold front will bring changes that will feel more like winter than spring.
Our winds die down a little bit and then switch to northwesterly overnight. And then by tomorrow morning, those northwesterly winds are going to bring in much colder air. And actually, rain could mix with snow at times tomorrow.
Matt Eckhoff is a forecaster at the National Weather Service. He says by this weekend, we'll be back in the 50s. Ryan Hedrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Guilty is the verdict. Darren Washington of Indianapolis was accused of starving his baby girl to death in March of 23. No baby bottles or bedding were found when police